Okay, so it's January 28th, 5:08 p.m. It's a Sunday, and I stayed home. My wife and my uh son and daughter went to go visit. They went to Grammy's house. They went to go visit Grammy, and I was actually getting a head start on Monday and taking pictures for inventory. And as I've mentioned on my Instagram and um, I think a YouTube video as well, I wanted to start creating a vlog. Um, More so today because as I'm starting to jot down and write down on my calendar, on my digital calendar, because I do have a paper calendar, old school. I already have taken like 4 notes of what seems to be pretty impactful things that in the past would just kind of passively, I would get the aha moment and then would passively uh, go, just kind of go through my mind. By jotting them down, like when something happens, like wow, or I learned something, or something impactful happens, I pull out my phone and I'll write it down on the date, per se today, the 28th. I started doing this once I wanted to once I decided and I started my podcast, Albert's Corner, on Fridays. And then I thought, wouldn't it be cool if every time I have an aha moment, I could record it? So today I went for a run, and I wanted to document this because the whole idea behind this is to document what I learn along the week. So then come Friday, when I have my podcast, I can go through all of these in more detail. The thing I learned today was when we were running with Valentina. We went to the park, and we usually just run together. It's my wife and I and Valentina. And for those of you who don't know, Valentina is my now 8-month old Rottweiler, female Rottweiler. And we're really teaching her how to live a balanced life. So we've been, being careful with her safety and our safety. We're slowly bringing her to trust her 100% on the leash to where we could pick it up to our regular runs and she could come with us. However, for the last 6 months, or give or take, she has been on her way and teaching us, and we're teaching her. But what has suffered is our running. We started off with walking and walking and walking, and every now and then we'll run a little bit, but then she gets a little wild, so we'll correct it and go back to the walk. And what we noticed today is I took off. We got out of the car. We were going to do one turn, which is about 2 miles, and I went. And I left them behind. And at the end of the 2 miles, I walked back to where they were, and we walked back, and then we discussed it, and we figured out during even the run, I wanted to share with my wife what I had already figured out. And I figured out that really we cannot sacrifice the run for anything, because the cardio and the running brings the balance, brings the calmness, the ability to make good decisions, to carry yourself in a 100% way, for us anyways. That's for me. I can't even speak 100% for her, but for me it definitely does do that. So we decided that what we were going to do is we're going to go for our run in the morning, run aggressively, and then in the afternoon when we take shipping, we'll take her with us, and then from there we'll stop by the park again and do a walk with her. And it'll be more of, if this is your walk, Valentina, this is about us and you, and not with that desire in the back to, man, I can't wait till I could start running with you again because I really love it, and just almost that tension of like, I can't wait till she starts running again. So that'll probably start tomorrow. Today I ran. They just did the regular walk. So tomorrow in the morning, no Valentina in the morning. It'll just be me and Sue going for our run. I'm pretty excited about that. It felt really good today for me, so I know it's going to feel really good for her tomorrow. And then we get to go back in the evening or in the afternoon and take our girl out for a walk. And I think Cam's foot is feeling a little bit better every single day, and I can't wait till that kid starts coming out with us for a run. Who knows? Maybe he'll run a marathon with me. First day of out on the park without Valentina. It's kind of cool to be able to open up the throttle and kind of go all the way, take a little walk break, because I just can't run the full segment like before we started walking with the dog in the morning. But I'll get it back. It just feels like, gotta get the muscle memory back, and should be back in action. I do notice the difference, and it feels real good. I want to come on here and remind myself about how sometimes trusting the process can be very difficult and challenging when you go for the long run versus the short runs. There's a lot of examples that I've come across. I won't jot them all down here, but yeah, sometimes the most difficultest thing is trusting the process. When we stopped running to start walking with Valentina on a daily basis, because we had that special running juice flowing through us, I think only anybody who does cardio or exercises daily, gets their blood pumping daily, can relate and understand what I mean by this juice that flows through you when you're a regular runner. It's like a mood changer. I don't know what you would call it. Anyways, I don't want to get too much into detail. But what happens if you stop running a day? You're not going to notice anything. You'll say you're running and you stop a day, you'll still have that juice flowing. When you stop running for 2 consecutive days, you'll still have it. By the 3rd day, you may lose it just a hair. The 4th day, the 5th, and just like anything, consistently, you start doing something consistently, you're gonna get a result. You stop doing something consistently, you're gonna get a different result. So what happened when we started walking Valentina every day and minus the cardio? Yes, we were still getting our blood going. Yes, we were still exercising. Yes, we were still covering miles, but we weren't getting our heart rate up. We weren't sweating. We weren't panting. We weren't getting those muscles to contract, those legs to move, those ankles and joints to just move with consistency and strategy, so you make sure you land gracefully and not hurt yourself. You're not thinking chi running, right? So do that for 2 months, and that's where we were at, and that's what I noticed. And I just realized that right now, that's when I ran today, I felt all that come back. So that's why it was something that you don't notice, because it gradually goes away, and that's where awareness needs to come in, and like be aware that you're not running anymore, you're walking. So just thought I would add that to the note, because we were talking here with this beauty, and that note came up, and I was like, you know what, let me grab my phone and jot it down real quick. I don't plan on putting my food on my vlog, but this sandwich looks so good, I had to come on here and express what it was, because in the future I'd like to come see, wow, you had that for lunch that day? Here we go, roll call. Wheat bread, avocados from my father-in-law's house, tomato, sprinkle me mang, with basil. I do write my goals every single day. One thing that I changed up from this year to when I did them in 2016 every day was I converted everything with the new way of thinking, which is simplicity. I was having a conversation with my wife today during breakfast, and she said, actually we were finishing our run and we were walking back to the car, and she made a good point. I told her, I was like, everything is moving forward, but I still sometimes feel that I am running in circles, kind of like that. I used to do that a lot in my 20s. I felt that I was, looking back, I felt that I was doing running a lot in circles. I go, I'm almost doing the same formula, but yet I'm moving forward. And she made a good point. She said, well, you're not using, it's funny because sometimes she uses the same exact examples that I give my daughter, or sometimes the same exact examples that I give my son, because I treat them differently. She brought up something that I said to my daughter maybe about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. She says, you're not using the same ingredients that you were using then. You had a certain set of ingredients, and you were trying to build the same thing that you're building now. However, now you have much more ingredients. Your table has a tremendous amount more of ingredients. So now you have more to work with, you have more understanding, you have more wisdom. So your result is going to be totally different. So there was a little bit of fear that I was going to continue, or I was starting to run in circles again. And she clarified that and made a good point by saying that as time progresses and you continue to measure, you continue to measure and you continue to educate yourself, you're going to pick up more ingredients. So you will come up with a different result because you have more ingredients. Every now and then I'll read something and it'll remind me how important patience is. And just right now I reminded myself, did my daily reading, and I only read a little bit, like a page and a half, but I read every single day. And today it reminded me about being patient, and how in the past I used to think that being patient was a weakness, and I had to do things fast. I was always taught to do things fast because time's running out and you got to beat the sun and you got to be fast. And that could be okay, if you need to be quick, but don't rush. I learned that from watching my son play baseball. One of his coaches said that once and it stuck to me. Be quick, but don't rush. And I think that falls under the thing of patience. I much rather be consistent, and be quick and know that it's going to take a certain amount of time and not try to rush to get the result faster. Today, Friday the 2nd, I learned that usually what's in front of you, usually what's like the issue, the challenge, or classically known as the problem that's in front of you, is usually not the problem. That's usually the result of the real issue, of the real problem. So analyze what it is that you're dissatisfied with and rewind it, back it up, and find out what is it that caused that result. That thing that caused the result that was the unwanted result, the unsatisfactory result, that's what you need to fix, not the result. Okay, so today's Friday, and I'm finishing up my first week of actual vlogging, which was as much fun as I thought it was going to be. My quick take on what happened. I was able to have a higher level of awareness of exactly lessons and things that I was learning. Not only would I learn a lot of the stuff, I would have aha moments or find something really interesting and then just kind of dwell on it for the rest of the day or the rest of the week. But actually pulling out my phone and recording it, whether it was text or actually coming on and doing a video clip for the vlog, really made it set in a little better. So that's one thing I took out of doing this recording and vlogging. I paid attention more. I kind of see that as a higher level of awareness on what's going on in my life. Is it interesting enough to capture? If the day's maybe already 9-10 o'clock and I haven't put myself in a situation where there's something interesting to vlog, maybe I'm not paying attention to life enough. That right there to me was huge. Maybe I should pay attention more. From as simple as, wow, there's a lot of leaves falling off that tree. Let me vlog that. That didn't happen, but I'm just saying, some guy earlier in the week, some guy fishing at the park at 7:30 in the morning in shorts, little things like those. It made me realize, every couple of hours, like, wow, nothing interesting. Then maybe I need to turn up the interesting. I have full control of what I'm doing. So why don't I pay attention more and turn up, I have control of my paying attention knob. So why don't I turn it up? And so that's one of the things, probably the biggest take I got out of week 1 of vlogging is pay more attention as life goes by, and there's a lot of great stuff going on, but we're so, I guess, a lot of things become more stale as life goes by because the ant carrying the other ant doesn't become a big deal no more because you saw it already. You're ready for, well, what else is new? What else is the next thing? What else is the next thing? And I think that's kind of what happened to me, is this, that as time went by, you didn't find it so, I saw an eclipse in the 6th grade. This eclipse coming around now is no big deal. I want the next thing. When I should have paid more attention to it just because it's fun, just because it's neat. If I saw an ant carrying another ant, maybe I should take a moment to admire it, and because it's kind of neat. All right, I wanted to come in here and just finish up because I ran out of space. So anyways, I wanted to come and just say that this is going to be the final entry for vlog week 1. I hope it comes out okay. I hope somebody enjoys it a little bit. I hope it's something that I can continue to do. It didn't seem difficult. I mean, stuff's happening anyway, so I just wanted to capture it. Wanted to come in to close it out and say week 1's done, and so far it was super fun, and I enjoyed it, and looking forward to week 2. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.